Is it a good time to be a fight fan or what? UFC 305 just finished up, and it felt like everything from the opening fight to the round 4 finish went right. And Gamrot versus Hooker was a crazy fun fight too. I don't know about you guys, but I was expecting a beatdown, not the battle we got. I'm super excited to see where Dan Hooker goes from here. And there's plenty to look forward to for the rest of this year. Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili is a great matchup. I still don't really understand what the Sphere does. Like, it's just a big ass screen, so like anyone in Vegas can watch for free? I don't know, but hey, look over here. Pereira versus Roundtree got announced completely out of the blue. Now, is Roundtree the most deserving contender in the light heavyweight division? Nah, not really. But does he deserve the title shot, period? Nah, not really, but whatever, it'll be fine. Alex versus anyone is always a great fight. And do I even need to say anything about Ilya versus Max at UFC 308? I mean, it's common knowledge that that fight will be insane. I can't wait to see it. But that leaves us with 2 more pay-per-views this year. UFC 309 in Madison Square Garden and 310 in Las Vegas. Neither of those have a main event yet, but it's highly likely that 309 will be where Jon Jones finally defends his belt. And if you read the title, then you already know that I believe Jon's next opponent will be Stipe Miocic. Hold on, hear me out! Now before you dislike the video, give me a chance to explain. The popular belief is that Dana White has no interest in making the Jones versus Aspinall fight, but I do believe that he has actually fooled us all and that Jon Jones will fight Tom Aspinall, but only after the Stipe fight. Here's why. Isn't it strange that Dana's been glazing Jon so much lately? It's a meme in the MMA community right now, but it's so true. There hasn't been a press conference where someone asks, "Hey, what'd you think of this welterweight's performance? Pretty good, huh?" And Dana starts gushing about how good Jon Jones is. He seriously mentioned Jones unprompted at every single press conference since UFC 300. But the thing is, I really don't think that Dana White is a huge fan of Jon. We know for a fact that he wasn't when texts between Dana and Lorenzo Fertitta leaked. In them, he called Jon Jones a scumbag and said, "Fuck that punk. He needs to know that we don't need him or he will fuck us over more than he already does." It's not like Jon has been on the straight and narrow since then. He can't leave his house without causing some sort of controversy and ending up in the news. And sometimes the controversy even goes to his house, but that's neither here nor there. So why is Dana singing Jon's praises any chance he gets? Because it gets us talking about it. When Jon beat Gon in a minute, it was hard to deny him the #1 pound for pound spot. But now that so much time has passed, there's room for discourse about the rankings. When he beat Gon, he seemed invincible, like nobody except Francis could even give him a challenge. Keep in mind, at this point, Tom hadn't even returned from his injury. He was out for almost a full year, and we really didn't know if he would be the same fighter when he returned. Again, as time passes, the argument that Tom could be the one to finally defeat Jon becomes more and more plausible. I don't know about you guys, I'm a pretty happy guy, but I get pissed whenever Dana writes off Aspinall, Pereira, and Makhachev's accomplishments compared to Jones's. And Jones fans get pissed when they hear people like me talking shit about Jones. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the UFC and getting the word out to more and more people. And I think Dana knew this would happen. Okay, so now we know what Dana's scheme is, but we still don't know why. Let's go back to his leaked text. He needs to know that we don't need him or he will fuck us over more than he already does. If they don't need him, why not make the Aspinall fight and get a new champion in there? Why are we bothering with the Stipe fight? Well, like everything in the UFC, it comes down to money. We don't have the exact number, but it's estimated that Jones vs. Gon did more than 500,000 pay-per-view buys, but less than 800,000, which anywhere in that range is still really good. For comparison, Jones vs. DC2 did 860,000 buys, and Ngannou vs. Miocic 2 did 380,000. The UFC was hurting for star power in the heavyweight division for quite a while. If you don't have star power, you don't sell pay-per-views. If you don't sell pay-per-views, you don't make money. Apparently, Francis didn't sell a whole lot of pay-per-views when he was champion, so I can see why the UFC is eager to have some guaranteed buys. And with Jon's return fight against Gane doing pretty good numbers, they probably think their investment paid off. But if they really want the Jones investment to pay off, they need the Stipe fight to happen. Even though Stipe hasn't fought in almost 3 years, he's still a recognizable name to older casual UFC fans. Additionally, this fight is likely going to be at Madison Square Garden, and they always stack the main card when they go there. So if the co-main is another big fight like, I don't know, DDP versus Strickland 2 or maybe Makhachev defending the belt, it's going to sell a shit ton of pay-per-view. For the sake of conversation, let's just say that Jones versus Miocic does 1 million buys. Stipe is old and his chin has been cracked before, so Jon is probably going to get a flashy highlight reel KO that will be all over social media. Then, Tom Aspinall enters the cage and he tells Jon, "If you're going to retire, then hand over that belt, otherwise I'm your next opponent." With 1 million eyes watching from home and in front of a sold-out MSG arena, there's no way Jon's pride lets him retire without accepting Tom's call-out. There's probably a decent amount of casual viewers who at this point have no idea who Tom is, but now he's on their radar, and now there's a massive amount of hype for the Aspinall vs. Jones title unification bout. If there's a lot of hype, there's probably, hopefully, a lot of pay-per-view buys too. And if Tom wins, we essentially have a passing of the torch. Tom becomes the legend who finally dethroned Jon Jones, and a new superstar is born. As MMA fans, we have to realize that compared to a lot of other televised sports, it's hard to get people in the door. It takes a lot of work to get even casual fans to tune into more than a few pay-per-views. But Dana White is the king of promotion. If Jon and Stipe are going to retire, he's going to make sure that he doesn't lose their fans in the process. And this is why I think that he's fooled us all and 100% plans to make the Jon Jones vs. Tom Aspinall fight happen. Or, I could be completely wrong. Only time will tell. But anyways, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I've been Drew talking. Take it easy and have a good one, folks.